Hey, it's Adrian Glenn with Military Grade Automation, back with another video. Took a quick break, but we've still been building these apps behind the scenes the entire time. So we are currently on app 25, and let's just get right into it. We have a success app today. This should be really cool. Already set up the foundation of the app, just dropped in the PRD and the mock-up image as always. And yeah, let's get started. So it's already generated the foundation app for us. And let's just check it out really quick. So you can see what the app will be is landing page with elegant success branding, home dashboard, habit tracking, fundamental learning paths, economic strategies, profile achievements and progression, floating inspire me button navigation. Basically, all of these factors will be a foundation to really just pretty much just looking to have a guideline to be successful. Through my experience in the military, I've learned a lot of different tips and tricks to be successful. We had days where we needed to work 24 hours, 48 hours at a time constantly. And if you don't manage yourself correctly, then it can honestly be devastating. So yeah, I mean, just think it'll be an interesting app to make. Let's get started. So it looks like have a very general foundation as always. Good floor for us to build off of, though. It should be pretty cool. So you can see we have a learn more button. It takes us here. We have beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Okay. So yeah, this is just a foundation pretty much, but pretty solid. We can definitely flesh this out a lot more. So let's just start by says quotes, read, day streak 12, lesson learned. Okay, so let's add. Okay, let me see. Let me make sure I understand exactly how it created this project. So we have this week's progress, early rise, goal setting, continuous learning, exercise and health, meditation, networking, financial planning, gratitude practice, priority planning, and reflection. Okay, this is okay. It's decent, but we can definitely add so much more to this. And day streak. So I can see all of this is already general information. That's the thing with Replit. It usually creates its own foundation and we can build off of that pretty easily. But yeah, usually the foundation is pretty general and not really in depth. So I just want to make sure we have a good understanding of what it has created so we can let Replit know how to edit and make the exact app that we're looking to make. So let me see. Okay, so we got budget wise needs 50%, wants 30%, 20% savings. So this is accurate based on just data through research that I've done on my own time. So this is pretty cool. Investment basics. So start with index funds and ETFs. That's great advice. Okay. Conservative portfolio. All right. This is decent. This is okay. We can get this way more fleshed out, way more features, way more different aspects, clean it up, make it look a lot better as well. I want more specifics. And yeah, basically this app, once we are completed, should be an all-around app that we can use to really just be successful. For someone who, for instance, has never had any guidance or any direction specifically on how to win at life, how to be successful, this should be a blueprint for anybody to use to get a general benefit. So track habits, learn more, today's inspiration. Okay. So first thing we want to do. So I don't know how it's setting up these habits here. And it says exercise and health. Okay, so you can add these in and subtract them as well. It looks like, okay. And then you have streaks, so it can track your progress. That's great. Meditation, networking, financial planning, gratitude practice. Okay, this is decent. I like the direction. I like the direction for sure. Okay. All right, let's see what we can get from this. Okay, so first thing I want to do is my goal for this app is to have a fundamental of specifically what, for instance, if you're exercising, which is great for your mental and physical health and your overall mood, I think it would be beneficial to have specific supplements that anyone can take in general, such as fish oil, for example, a reasonable amount of creatine, probably 5 grams of creatine. But yeah, we can flesh this out for sure. Okay, so let's say flesh. Let's just keep it general now because I want to get a better direction. But for right now, it's such a simple foundation that it will be probably best for us to just request Replit flesh this out. So all I'm gonna do is really say flesh out this app to have more detail and specific information that users can follow. Okay, cool. So yeah, from here, should be able to just flesh things out for us, get a solid foundation. Okay. I'll flesh out the success app with more details and specific information the users can follow. Okay, cool. I also want to touch on the front end, which would be the entire portion that we're visually seeing here. But I just want to make sure that we can get an overall better depth. It's too simple. It's too simple. I don't really like how simple this is right now. So let's just add more detail. Yes, sir. All right. So yeah, it looks like it's expanding the app, enhancing the lessons with comprehensive step-by-step guidance, expanding habits with specific implementation strategies, and adding detailed economic information. Okay, cool. It's working. Yeah, but as always, this is gonna everything always starts pretty simple as far as these app builds, but by the end of this build, it's gonna be pretty crazy. Promise. All right, so let's see what we got down here. Looks like we're getting an error. It's always good to check your console log. You can use this wrench right here to check out the dev tools, and this is very beneficial to see specific errors that are showing up. And a lot of times when you're building an app, the error messages won't necessarily show up here because you're building the app. These error messages are to show problems with apps that are usually ideally completed, or if there's any typos or any syntax errors with the actual code that you're using. But when it does show messages like this, it's always very useful to copy these error messages and just drop them in a Replit and let them know what's happening and let them know the direction we want to go in. Should be pretty cool. Okay. So you can see here, it's expanding the app with much more details and actionable content, starting by enhancing the lessons with comprehensive step-by-step guidance, expanding habits with specific implementation strategies, and adding detailed economic information. Okay, cool. All right, so once we have a solid foundation, want to just comb through, make sure everything looks right, everything looks useful and beneficial to the user. Once we have a good foundation to run with, we may want to implement APIs. We may want to just use ChatGPT to gather more specific pieces of information, because a situation like this, it's more important to have useful, specific information than it is to have a range of information. For instance, when we made the movies app or the superhero app or the anime app, those use databases to gather information about all different types of movies or animes or things like that. So that is useful to use an API, but things like this, it may just take more creativity and specific fine-tooth comb level of detail, but that works too. That's why we're doing 30 apps in 30 days, so we can show different variations of building apps and different styles and overall just things that we are able to create. And just a sneak peek, after this, we have a lot of crazy things in store. I actually have a build breakdown. We're going to go through all of the 30 apps that were created throughout this process, and I'm going to break down every app that we were able to build. That'll be all in live stream, followed by a just detailed video, brief, probably a 10-minute video, just explaining the entire process. And I'm also going to be creating a Replit tutorial to teach people exactly how to use Replit, exactly how I was able to create these projects, and just exactly how to get the idea that you have in your mind and create that without any necessary experience in the software development field, which is extremely useful. I definitely recommend everybody check out that tutorial, because at the end of the day, there's no reason not to be using this software. In my opinion, everybody will be using programs and software like this in the future as they get more and more capable. But the people who are able to have the inspiration, I guess, or the idea to actually check things out from the very beginning, those are the people that are going to really benefit the most from this, to be honest. The people who are going to catch things early, just the same way as the internet was, it was a gold mine in the very beginning, but after everybody got into it, it wasn't necessarily as much as a profit margin. But yeah, just trying to get people the game so they can use this information, just like I was able to use software engineering to get where I'm at today. So yeah. All right, cool. So create a comprehensive lesson content with detailed, actionable information. Okay, nice. So it's really going through and gathering some really useful details. I could have manually went through and said, hey, change the track habits portion into this, or add this detail here, add this different portion here where we can log, etc., etc. But I just feel like it's very important to let Replit do its thing right now, because you got to understand the AI software has access to the entire internet at the same time. So it will be able to gather a ton of useful information for us, and we can just use that information and weed out what we don't want and add in what we do want. Pretty simple. As always, I recommend using Replit as an employee, pretty much. And a good boss is going to know how to manage their workers and save energy and time so that they don't burn out. So let's let the AI do its job, right? But while we wait on this, we could actually check out ChatGPT and see what it can recommend for us. Okay. So we'll have both of these populating at the same time and just ask ChatGPT. Okay, O4 mini high. Always recommend O4 mini high. It's really useful. It's pretty much an overall great AI model to use. The 4.0 is what it defaults to. It's a lot faster, but it's just not as detailed, and it usually doesn't actually check the internet. It usually just pulls from the local ChatGPT resources, which won't be as accurate, won't be as specific. But if you're writing, GPT 4.5 is definitely the best for that. But okay, so let's just note, what are 20? So let's start with diet information. Or no. Actually, let's just say, what are 20 supplements that everyone on average would benefit from to be more successful at life? All right. So as always, we want to keep it pretty general, and we can always tighten up if we need to, but let's just see what ChatGPT can give us. All right, cool. So yeah, and Replit is still loading up those changes for us at the same time. All right. But yeah, anybody who, I know I've made a ton of these apps so far on stream, and I know it may or may not be somewhat confusing, and I may not be going into 100% detail on everything that I'm doing, but I promise after this 30-day 30 app challenge, I will be creating a very detailed breakdown of how to use Replit and how to use vibe coding or no code tools in general to create whatever project you want to make. And I'll be going into a ton of detail. You got to understand, I'm making each of these apps one day each, sometimes up to 3 apps at the same setting. So these are not as detailed as they could be, but after this challenge, the next challenge I have planned will actually be a full build of an app for 30 days. And I think everybody should watch that. It'll be really interesting. And I'm not going to say too much, but if you like money, you should definitely check out my next challenge as well. That'll be very, very useful if you want to learn how to make money online using AI automation tools. Just trying to give people the game. That's it. All right, cool. So let me see. It's still loading up the changes though. Let me let it load. Let's see what we got recommended though. Multivitamin minerals. help fill common micronutrient gaps. Okay. Vitamin D3, omega-3. Yeah, definitely omega-3 is super useful. Magnesium, vitamin B12, iron, zinc, selenium. Not familiar with that, but I might learn something here. Antioxidant. Okay. Vitamin B6, vitamin C, chlorine, probiotics, ashwagandha. Okay. Okay. Ginseng, melatonin. Okay, this is kind of interesting. Antioxidant defenses, been studied from mood and detoxification support. All right, these are okay. Some of these I'm familiar with, some I'm not as familiar with. NAC, never heard of that. COQ10. Okay, some of these I'm not familiar with, to be honest, but no big deal. Can definitely knock this out, get things rolling. Okay. Okay. Okay, so creating detailed lesson content shows the full actionable content when users click on lessons. Okay. So it looks like Replit it's fleshing out the app for us. Fleshing out the app. Okay, so let me look at these. So these are the supplements they're recommending. I don't know about these. I don't want to recommend supplements that are not useful. These look all right though. These look okay. Let's get these in here. As always, this is pretty much a prototype that we're building today, and we can always go back and flesh things out, add more details and more functionalities as we go along. Okay, so now that we have the supplements, I'm just checking to see if this loaded. It still hasn't loaded yet. So now that we have the supplements, let's move on to gather 20 different books. Okay. What are the top 20 books you recommend to be successful? Based on online. I guess online, let's just be successful. Okay, let's keep it simple. No reason to complicate that request. It's pretty self-explanatory. All right, so yeah, L-theanine is great. Yeah, these are decent recommendations for sure. And the reason why I'm making this app specifically is because a lot of times throughout my experience in the military or just in day-to-day life, working as a software engineer, things like that, working in the tech field in general, a lot of people don't necessarily realize, but working in tech does require a lot of perseverance, a lot of high quality mental capabilities, and your brain is actually a muscle, just like your bicep, your tricep, your deltoid, etc. It's the same thing. So you definitely will need a large amount of protein, probably 1.5 times your body weight in protein, but I'm not going to go into details on that. But basically, there's a lot of different health factors that people don't necessarily think about because they may or may not be wanting to be someone who's an athlete, so, but I'm just letting you know, these are things that I know for a fact. I've experienced firsthand. These tips and tricks really will make a giant difference in your success rate. Just think about it. If you're able to have the right mental capacity, then you're able to work more, you're able to get more done long term, and overall you're able to make more money and be more successful, be happier, have a better life. So, okay, so this week's progress: early rise 5 to 6 a.m., smart goal settings, continuous learning, physical exercise, mindfulness and meditation, strategic networking, financial tracking and planning. Okay. So I'm not sure how these pluses are necessarily working. It's saying these are habits. So does that just log the fact that you were able to complete that for this week? Because these are daily. So I'm not 100% sure on what this means. Yeah, let me check. Okay, so this week's progress, yeah, it caps out. But the early rising and these should not be daily, or these should not be weekly. These should be daily. So we can definitely touch that up. Let me check out what else we can edit, get updated. Let's enlarge this. Okay. So we have track habits, today's inspiration, and learn more. So learn more, beginner, establish clear, actionable goals to lay the groundwork for success. Smart goal setting, build unstoppable momentum, time management mastery. All right, so like we usually do, let's just go page by page and flesh these out. I'm just trying to work out how exactly to move with this, because this is just not even, it's not even in the lane that it should be pretty much completely. It's seemingly just, yeah, we can clean this up. It's giving weekly goals and listing daily goals at the same time. So yeah, let's drop that in there. Error. Rework the success habits page to allow for daily tracking, not weekly. Okay. So that'll be a start there. All right, so let this load really quick. I will be right back with you guys. Okay. All right, back in it. So yeah, it looks like, yeah, it got updated. Today's progress. All right, so we got completed, best streak, and active streak. All right. So if I click this, okay, this is fine. So let's remove no, actually, let's not even worry about the example data. Definitely need to get this updated. The best streak, active streak, these are not accurate. These are just templates, just placeholder information. So physical exercise, mindfulness and meditation, strategic network, financial planning. Okay. So yeah, and then this front page is super simple so far. Okay, so in the learning strategies. Okay, so looks like they flushed this out a little bit more. So we have emergency funds. Want to just review this app a little bit just to make sure that whatever changes we're making actually are logical based on what the app is attempting as a whole. So we have tax optimization. It's very useful. Okay. And what happens if you click that? Nothing. So that's not functional yet. All right. So yeah, let's just stick to the habits. Okay. So revamp the success habits page to allow the user to choose specific habits as their goals that can then be tracked. Okay. Yeah, let's just start with a foundation. Okay. So yeah, just getting things updated on this one. And from this, So we have, yeah, we have goals. These goals are nice, but to be honest, it doesn't actually make that much sense to have early riser 5 to 6 a.m. as a locked in situation. For instance, what if you work nights? In the military, we have a rotating shift throughout 24 hours. So you may work at 8 a.m., you may work at 4 p.m., or you may start work at midnight. So waking up at 5 to 6 is just not, it's not logical to be something to track for the average person in general. SMART goals, write down 3 specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound goals each morning. Okay. So instead of having the SMART goals section be something that you would write down every day, the app already is here, right? This is a success app. So it should already allow you to input your own SMART goals for the day. So let me just keep going down this while it's loading. So that's something we can edit. We have edit for this. You should be able to choose what time your goal is to wake up. SMART goals, it should be able to actually log the goals that you are attempting to achieve for the day. Once those goals are logged, they should be able to be added to this list as well. Physical health. See, this is, oh, let's go to continuous learning actually. Dedicate focused time daily to acquire new knowledge through books, courses, podcasts, or skill practice. This is fine, but it should, again, be more specific for the user. So I would more so like the app to be recommending goals for the user and allow the user to work with the app to actually come up with the final goals that they would like to log. Okay, so physical exercise and health. Yeah, again, this is 4 to 6 times a week. This is not a daily tracker. You should be able to say what days of the week that you want to work out and allow the app to track those days for whatever day. Say, for instance, if Monday was the day you're supposed to work out, it should be logging Monday and should know that Monday is the day you're supposed to work out. Basically, a schedule planner for success-related goals. Strategic networking. Actively build meaningful professional relationships through genuine value giving and consistent follow-ups. Okay. Networking, that's not really a daily goal, right? That's not really something you would want to do. You don't want to daily need to network. That doesn't really make any sense for the most part. But let's see. It's still updating. Looks like it removed majority of the goals. All right, it's still doing this thing. It's still doing this thing. Let's check out this again. Let me get this out the way. It's just making them shorts for my YouTube channel. All right, so the books that it recommended: 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Okay. How to Win Friends and Influence People. So each of these books, we want to have a portion in here so we can have the entire breakdown of the beneficial tools from these books, basically the quick notes version of these books. For instance, for 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, you should be able to click that book and see the 7 habits and see a brief breakdown of each of the habits. That'll be extremely, extremely beneficial. So I'm not saying necessarily you wouldn't want to read the book, but it should be able to give you a brief breakdown so you can understand the benefit of reading the book, and you may just be able to get a benefit from the breakdown. Gotta optimize for sure. So yeah, I'm seeing on this, okay. Early riser, wake up 1 to 2 hours before your normal start time, gain quiet, focused hours for personal development and strategic thinking. SMART goals, write down 3 specific measurable goals. Successfully revamp the habit page with personal habit selection. Users can now choose specific habits as their personal goals from the available habits. Okay. Not seeing how I can choose specific habits out of these goals. So you see, the calendar is not effective either. Okay. So I don't usually do this, but we're actually going to recreate this entire page. Wait. Let me wait for a second. Okay. So it does have the option to select what goals you would like. Okay. And then we can track these on a daily. So that's solid. That's solid. That's okay. Okay. Daily reflection and learning. All right. So yeah, I still feel like we should probably revamp this entire page. So remake the entire /habits page. The page should have a calendar. And allow the users to note the the page should have a calendar and general goals that the user can manually edit. 6 a.m., 7 a.m., etc. Also allowing the user to choose which day the goal will apply weekly. And I'll just note here, Mondays, Tuesdays, etc. Okay, cool. So let me also catch a screenshot just so it knows exactly what page as well, even though we noted it. It's not gonna hurt to add more information there. Yeah, so with this, should be able to update the page for us. It's kind of throwing me off because this entire design is just not really up to par, and it's not really logical as far as a human being using this to get done what they're looking to get done. I just think it'll be a lot better for us to edit this entire process and turn it into something more useful. So let me see. Now update the storage layer to support the new goal system. All right. Let me find the correct import structure. Add new storage methods. All right, that's cool. Okay. Let me get all this out of the way too. It's just notes and stuff like that. All right, cool. So grit, power, passion, principles, life and work, good to great, outliers. This is a great book. Okay. All right. These are solid options. I haven't read some of these. I read a lot of them. Atomic Habits, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Think Grow Rich, How to Win Friends. Yeah, I read a lot of these, but I haven't read some of these, so I might actually use this as well. But we got a good list of supplements that we can add in. We have a good list of books that we can recommend users to reference when it comes to general success. Okay, so now let's get some books on finance. Okay, give a list of 20 books on finance recommended. Of the top. All right, cool. So based off my understanding of popular success-driven books, those seem very accurate. So I'll trust it to do the same thing for finance. And we can get that created. We got the supplements. We got the finance books loading. We have the success-related books in general as well. So it's pretty solid. All right, still loading up those changes on that end. That's why it's always good to kind of multitask when you're working with these softwares, because when the AI is doing the heavy lifting for us and it's actually going to take a while to get that done, why not just use that time on another aspect of the app? All right, so it's loading that up for us. See what we got. Okay. So yeah, I'm definitely just pretty much drop all of these in and create a book section. Or this will be in a supplement section, but we can also create a book section, a fitness section as well. That'll recommend just general fitness tips and tricks, like how much protein an average person should eat, how much like exercise they should do a week based on their weight, or et cetera, et cetera. Just basic guidelines that anybody could follow without any outside knowledge. I feel like all of this will be very useful. All of this should be very, very useful for sure. Okay. It's loading up those changes for us. It's crazy. Nobody checking for it. Private. Wow, my stream is set private. Wonder how that happened. Let me get that fixed. Huh. Let me see. Damn, that shit going on. Okay. Why is my stream set to private though? Not even seeing an option to change that. Public. All right, let me see if that updates. Man, that is crazy. Okay. Well, it looks like that got updated for us. Yeah, for some reason my stream was set to private. That never happened before, but should be all good now. Okay. So yeah, it's loading up those changes. We got a good list of 20 books we can use. Good list of 20 books on finance. Let me see. These are success books still. Let me check it out. 20 books on finance. All right, so for finance, okay. So Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Total Money Makeover, Millionaire Next Door. This is a classic. Psychology of Money, Richest Man in Babylon, Your Money or Your Life. Okay, these seem solid books. These seem like solid books. All right, that's cool. All right, for sure. All right, so let's check it out. So it looks like it was able to get that updated for us. So let's say, I'm not seeing the calendar though. Let's say add your first goal. Okay, nice. So you can note your goal, have a description, total value. Okay. So when you click add goal, I would like it to have recommended goals as well. But let's try and add a goal really quick, right? So let's just say exercise. Target value. Okay. Let's say target value 2 hours. Yeah. 2 hours. Okay. Let's just say Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Create goal. All right. Is that going to populate for us? Not loading yet. Not loading. Yeah, it looks like that needs to be resolved, but it's looking cleaner though. It's looking a lot cleaner than it was. Check out what this does. Winston Churchill, success is walking from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. Solid. It works. It's all right. That's all right. Okay. So now let's just get this updated. Make sure that this actually loads for us. Okay. Just note when I click create goal, it does not populate. All right, cool. So I should be able to get updated for us. Get that goal populated like it should be. Yes, sir. Okay. All right, so it looks like it's seeing a 500 error. Okay. All right, fixing the type of issue with the create user goal method. Fixing the remaining LSP errors. All right, cool. So it looks like it's updating for us. When we click create goal, there should be goal templates that we can edit. That would be really nice to have some templates that we can just edit, clean up a little bit here and there, things like that. That'll be super useful because you don't like, this is an app for people who aren't familiar with these topics, right? So you don't want them to necessarily need to, if they need to learn what goals they need to set, then why are they really using the app in the first place, right? It doesn't really make sense. But yeah. So it says the API is now working. It returned 200 with the default goals. All right, cool. Still loading up those changes for us. See what we get. All right, but so far these are looking pretty clean though. I'm not gonna lie. And the financial books, what else do we need? What else do we need? We got financial books. I'm just trying to make sure we have all the data points that we can use so we can just drop those into the app and speed up the process and make things a lot smoother. But all right, so it looks like it loaded up those changes for us. Let's check it out. All right, cool. See, track habits. Excuse me. So we got early morning wake up here. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Daily exercise, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay. So let's delete that goal. If we click add a new goal, all right, cool. And early morning wake up early to start the day with intention and focus. All right, it looks better. It looks better for sure. All right, so let's get this updated again. Let's say, add in goal templates that the user can reference to create their own goals. Use proven recommended goals for successful individuals as examples. All right, cool. So get that updated, just get a little bit of templates in there. That's how it goes though, right? Like, honestly, I'm jumping in these apps and I really have no idea what's going to come out on the other end. I'm really just diving in head first and just willing to learn and willing to pivot on the fly. And that's really what you need to be able to do in these situations when you're making these projects. Really just need to have your clarity on what you would like to create and flesh it out along the way. It's always a great mentality to have. Okay. So yeah, it's building these, fleshing things out for us. So track habits, learn more, master fundamentals. We got beginner, setting smart goals, build unstoppable momentum. So these are reads that we should be able to have. We should actually be able to read these. Okay. Decision-making frameworks, habit formation science, overcoming obstacles, leadership principles, strategic thinking, and legacy building. Okay. This is solid. These are solid so far. I like these. These are pretty cool, But let's see what recommended goals they have for us. All right. So yeah, it's still getting that fleshed out for us. The strategies here. Emergency fund strategy. This is clean. I like these. I like these a lot. It's still loading up those changes for us. All right, cool. Let's let it do its thing. Okay. But yeah, I think just having details for the average person, most people aren't familiar with how to get their taxes set up, how to invest money safely, things like that, exercise goals, and different supplements, whatever you should use to become a better person overall. This is a app made to make you successful overall, top to bottom. So yeah. All right, so yeah, it's still updating that days of the week portion there. Okay. Let's let it do its thing for a second though. But as that loads, need to constantly be thinking about what else we can build onto this project. All right, so yeah, it's still loading that up. So we have financial books that we can recommend and give breakdowns on. We have success recommendations. We have supplements here that we can all add into the app. Need to think about what else we can get in there to have people be more successful. I think it would be really cool to have a meditation guidance. I meditate 20 minutes every single day. And I think that'll be really cool to have a meditation portion where it can at least just give you a brief breakdown, maybe set a cool timer so that people can get started in the meditation as well. Just everything that makes you into a millionaire. All right, so early morning wake ups, daily exercise, today's progress, best streak. All right, so let's see, add goal. If I click this, what happens though? Can I edit these? Because that's what we need to be able to do. We need to be able to edit these. Not 100% sure what. Okay. So when you click structured morning routine, you go over here and it allows you to edit it. All right, that's cool. That's cool. That works for sure. So that is successful. That is successful. We also need a calendar. Need a calendar on here so we can track the progress. So let's get a calendar added in on top really quick for sure. Okay. So as always, we just copy and paste the screen that we want to edit, and just quick note, add a calendar over the today's progress section. All right, cool. So this should be able to populate for us pretty quick. Get that calendar in here so we can actually track our success over time as well. I think that'll be really cool for sure. A lot of times people don't realize how much progress they've really made, and just having a visual interpretation of that can do a lot for real. Like that can honestly do a lot. That can do a whole lot. So yeah, let's get that added in for sure. All right. Yeah, it's getting that loaded up, but trying to think what else can we have added in. Also want trainers, right? So we're gonna need different AI. As always, we gotta throw some AI in there. This is military grade automation, so we're gonna add some AI components in here as well. And I think it'll be really cool to have the fitness section have a fitness AI. For instance, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Steve will do it. I don't know. We can have some fitness gurus in the fitness portion, have an AI section so you can actually ask professionals what suggestions they have on your fitness. We can do the same for finance and et cetera, et cetera. Whole lot of capabilities with this app, seriously. All right, so weekly activities. So we have, yeah, it has trackers here too. That's cool. That's cool. I really like how it has that cool quick quote right here. That's really nice. But let's see this habits page. It's still updating the habits page. All right, that's fine. That's fine. All right, so looks like it might have wrapped that up. Let's check it out. Oh, no, it's still populating that change. Okay. So far, we are kind of 50 minutes in, pretty much like 40 minutes in realistically, though. Yeah, that page is still updating. Decent progress so far, but yeah, this is going to look amazing at the end. Could clean up the design of the app, and I might want to do that, but I might do that after we hit this habits page and get this updated. Okay, so let me just check these for sure. Make sure, understand how these pages are looking, because we're going to update each one of these pages step by step. All right. Let me see. Yeah, it's still getting that update populated for us. So right now, we have the habits section. We have the learn section, strategies. These are really useful. Great financial advice from what I'm seeing here. Index fund strategies, high income skill development. Yeah, this is fire. This is fire. All right, cool. And now we got the calendar here as we requested. Nice. So today is the 27th. That's accurate. Cool. Hit these arrows. All right, nice, nice. It's a calendar. It works. Cool. And we can add our own specific goals that we want. It gives us templates on what goals are recommended. That's nice. Yeah, it looks cool. Looks functional for sure. Let's clean up this style though. This is looking pretty basic to be real. So definitely want to get this updated. Let me drop that in there. We say error. Update the style of the app to appear high quality, expensive, and luxury. Boom. It's always pretty simple with these requests unless you want any specific changes, right? I could go into specific details. I could give it another website to reference or things like that, but it's always good to see what the app will give us. And as always with Replit, it's really, really cool because the more you actually use your account on Replit, the more it remembers your previous decisions. So us making 25 apps so far, it'll just remember all of the different design choices I made in the past, and it should make this look really, really nice. It's very easy, very easy. All right, so has the quotes read. We don't really need to track the quotes read. This whole page needs to be revamped pretty much. Yeah, this is super, super basic, but we'll get that updated. No big deal. All right. So yeah, it's still getting that design updated for us. The profile points, that's cool. That's cool. I always like to gamify any skill, real life skill. I always try and turn it into a video game because when it's a game, it's fun for a challenge, you know? So definitely makes people more interested in my experience. Yeah, it looks like all this page is completely functional. And I like how it gives you these templates that you can just click and select them basic, but you can also go into more detail. That's really cool. It has the different breakdowns, learning and development, networking and relationships. Okay. Business and finance. All right, this is fire. This is fire. This is really cool. Very useful. All right, create your first goal. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Getting a whole lot of dev errors here. What is this? Let me see. Okay, encountering 2 children with the same key. Okay. Seems like some of the variables using the same name. Okay. It's no big deal for now. Let's not worry about that unless we actually see any situations that are causing problems with that. It's probably just, I mean, it is updating the entire front end for us in real time. So probably will have some errors show up until it's completed. Okay. So far, I see this is lighting up pretty nice. All right. All right. It's updating. Definitely updating. These, I'm already noticing little things like these arrows need to be edited. It's not showing the arrow until you highlight it, but these are things we'll just kind of leave till later because a lot of times when you make big changes, it'll fix those small things along the way for you. No big deal. All right, so yeah, it's noting it updated the goal calendar. Okay. Always like to check it out, but it is probably good to let it do its thing and complete loading so we can get the full scope of the changes. But yeah, I'm not seeing that much of a change really for what it's given us so far. I don't like this color. The color coding is really not working for me. Yeah, I'm kind of picky though with my website designs. I always like everything to look super, super high quality and very, very, very next level every single time. Because that's the apps I like to use at the same time too, you know? So, all right, so yeah, it's still getting things updated for us. All right, so got these noted down here. It'll track your daily progress. And I think it'll be cool to have a progress bar every day and just have an overall progress bar so you can see exactly how you've been doing. That'd be nice. Okay. All right, so it styled things a little bit better. Okay. There's some progress. Let me see if it edited the other pages as well. No, just this page. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I just feel like it can be a lot cleaner. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah. Better, but I am looking for a next level experience. It should immerse the user with high level design. Treat the app as if it is a masterpiece while also maintaining functionality. Okay. And let me catch that screenshot again. Clean this up. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I mean, it incremented, it looks a little bit nicer. If this next update doesn't give us the style that we're looking for, then may just reference a different website just to see some specifics, and we can always copy and paste the design of another website and just let it know that it should use this style. But I want to just see if it can just clean things up for us now. But once this page design is completed, we can update the other pages, just pretty much let it know, expand the design of the habit portion of the website to the entire project, and it will be able to redesign every other aspect as well. So that's why it's always good to stick with one page at a time, because the more we flesh out this page, the more it understands the goals of the entire app, visually and functionality wise. Okay. Yeah, but so far, not too bad. Not too bad. But it can be better. All right, so I want to check out the strategies portion though, because this seems like it has a lot of detail, but the way that it's set up, each one of these could be drop downs. They're way too large. You shouldn't have to scroll down an entire page to see the next recommendation. Okay. And this section is called strategies, but it's only given economic strategies. So maybe we want to edit that. These may have these have numbers here. We can't see them. So it gives you a compound interest calculator. This is very, very useful when you're investing. It'll let you know the goals and the long-term trajectory of what your investment is. And it's really useful because you might put $1,000 into a stock or crypto or whatever, but once you see what it can be over time with the average level of growth, it'll feel a lot better, and you'll be more likely to stick to it, in my opinion. All right, cool. So pro tips for success: start with a minimum 1,000, use tax refund, consider money market accounts, review and adjust annually. All right, these are cool. Can obviously be fleshed out. All of this can obviously be fleshed out into a lot more specific detail. My goal with this app is to be able to have somebody pull this up and have everything they need to know in general to be successful in whatever field of study. All right. Yeah, it's still loading up these changes for us. All right. All right. Cool. All right, cool. So allegedly it changed into a masterpiece. Looks like this page got edited as well. Okay, so it did change other pages. All right. See the habits page. All right. All right. So I added a little bit of animations in there. Nice. Looks a lot better. Feels a lot better too. Yeah, I gotta get that. I gotta get this portion updated though. The arrows are not visible until highlighted on the habits page. All right, so I'm just gonna let it know that we need that button fixed and catch a screenshot of the entire page along with a screenshot of the exact buttons we need updated. Okay. And I always like to note error in the beginning, just so it knows that this is a specific change that we need and not just a general point. It might actually think that one time I was trying to make a change and it was just like, all right, nice. Yeah, it does look like that. And I'm like, hey, this is not correct. So yeah, it's always nice to know error in there for sure. All right. They edited this. Looks a little bit more stylized. Not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad. All right, cool. Making progress. See what we can get. But yeah, so we still need to add the books for sure. All the books that people should be reading and breakdowns of each book so people can get a general idea of the benefits of the book. For sure. All right. So this page is cool. We got our goals. We can track them over time. Works. This page is functional. Yeah, animations are here. Looks clean. All right, that's cool. Let's move on to the learning page. So this section looks like each of these should be their own actual interactable sections that should give you a breakdown. It's saying that these are completed. Yeah, it always usually gives general placeholder information. So it's just having template information saying some of the challenges were done. It's pretty much like a demo. Creating lasting impact and sustainable success. Your legacy is built through daily actions. Okay, so we're gonna gut this page and edit all of this information and get it very useful. Okay, so update the, you see the name of this page, the fundamentals page. All right, update the fundamentals page with useful information pulled from the attached books. All right. So since we already got that list from ChatGPT, I know that I actually wanted to give us real useful information, right? So let's take the 20 most popular books on success and drop all of them in here. All right, cool. So let me actually catch a screenshot of the page we're working on as well. Make sure it knows exactly what we want to update. All right, paste that in there also. Boom. So this should be able to give us a clean, updated look. A lot more information in here. A lot more specific details. A lot more useful. Just better, really. Just better. All right, so while we do that, let's check, make sure this is working. Let's add a new goal. Early rising. Wake up 1 or 2 hours before your normal routine. Okay. Let's just leave it as it is for right now. And yep, that is here. Okay. So how do we say that we did it? How do we say we accomplished the goal for the day? We need to make sure that we have a checkbox or something like that for daily. Yeah, it just has today's goal 0 for 0. Yeah, it looks like we don't have that option here yet to let it know that we accomplished the goals. No big deal. We can get that updated though. Let me see. Still getting that fundamentals page loaded up. So just make sure it understood. I'll update the fundamentals page with rich content based on these best-selling books. Let me enhance it with comprehensive lessons and insights from these proven resources. All right, cool. So it understands exactly what we're going for. It looks like it's getting those changes made for us. Nice. This page is completely functional. We need to make sure we have that option to let it know that we completed the goals, but yeah, looks pretty good so far. Okay. Let me just see if it's edited. It hasn't made any changes yet. Okay. So we're going to want each one of these to be interactable, and they should just, yeah, be able to give you a guidance, useful information, beneficial tools to be successful. This economic strategy section is nice though. I'm not going to lie. They gave some really good fundamental information on economics. So this is cool. Just need to clean it up, edit it, add more information. We have a list of the top 20 financial books, so we can use the AI to reference all of those books and give us accurate information based on what they were given. On top of these though, because these are really good. Okay, and the profile page, export progress. All right, looks like you could maybe save your stuff and bring it out. We don't need that. Weekly activity. It's placeholder information, but I like this. Lessons completed, daily inspiration. Okay. Recent achievements. I like the achievements too. That's cool. That's cool. That's really cool. And we can level up. That's nice. That's nice. Makes it a lot more fun. I like the animations too. This page is super basic though. I like to edit the home page last once we have all of the different information from everything else that we were able to complete throughout the app. So by the time we get to the home page, it's the nicest out of all the pages because that's the front. That's where everybody sees from the beginning. So yeah. All right. So yeah, the fundamental page is getting rewritten. Still getting that updated. I mean, it's 20 books, so it's a good amount of information for it to pull from. All right. Yeah, see the text. Some of these portions isn't showing up. All right. No big deal though. We can clean this up pretty easily. Okay. Oh yeah, it looks pretty cool. Looks pretty cool. Side hustle business models. Nice. Content creator, technical services, one-time creation, online course. Okay. Yeah, it's decent. These are not interactable yet, but they will be. See what we get though. Should be really nice though. I'm expecting some great information here. It's still loading up. Still loading up on us. All right. See what we get. Let's see. Also still got these here. So, let me just ask, what would you recommend as features for a success app? All right, create a list of 1,000 and narrow down to the 10 best. Only show the final 10. That's a little secret with ChatGPT. I noticed when I ask it to create 1,000 for the list, if I need 10 in my list, I ask it to use or to create 1,000 different options, right? And then narrow it down to the best 10. So it'll have to look through more resources and gather more information instead of giving me the first thing it finds. I've noticed that that's made a big difference in my results, usually. Looks like it broke the learn page. Okay, you see. Yeah, the learn page isn't functional right now. It's pretty common though, once it's when it's making these changes, it can happen. No big deal. Always just copy that error message that we're seeing. Paste that in. Since we have dev tool errors as well, we can just copy these too, just to make sure it gets good amount of info. Paste that in there and note error. The fundamentals page is not functional. Okay, cool. So it should be able to get that updated for us pretty soon. And while that's loading, let's see what ChatGPT gave us back. Oh, this is like something in the background. Get that out the way. All right, so let's see what ChatGPT gave us back. So smart goal settings and OKR models. Okay. Habit tracking and formation support, smart reminders and adaptive notifications, real-time progress and performance dashboard, delivers interactive charts. Okay. Community and accountability networks, AI-powered personalization coach, chatbot. Yeah, the chatbot, that's super useful. We definitely need a chatbot in here for every different portion of the app. Financial and fitness chatbot specifically, super cool, super useful. Integrated micro learning library. This seems like something we would want to add later. This can add a lot of depth to the app for one day. All right, so let's check out the result though. Habits, learn page. All right, it's functional now. Cool. Okay. Okay. So it says based on 20 plus million copies sold worldwide. It's not really giving us any details though. Let's just make sure each one of these are interactable. So let's copy that smart goals section. Okay. And just note error. Each of the goals or each one of the, what are these called? Yeah, each one of the goals, let's just say, should be interactable to give details specific to assist the user accomplish them. Step-by-step guidance with progress bar. Okay, cool. So should be able to get updated for us pretty quick. Basically just letting it know each one of these here should be actually interactable. We should be able to click on these and open up a different portion that gives a step-by-step breakdown with the progress bar. So you can check off which portion that you've already completed and keep moving on. Track your progress. Always cool to track your progress. Makes it a lot more interesting. And well, once this is loaded, definitely just need to make sure that we can get that logging of the goal completion in here too. Super important. It might not let me log the goals though because it's Sunday. Okay, so it does work. All right, cool. So I can check that off, right? Boom. 10 out of 10 for the day. Nice. That logs here. We see that green dot there. Not sure what these green dots are for, but might need to just get those edited, tweaked a little bit. No big deal on that, but that's nice though. We got that functional as expected. We can't check this off because it starts on Monday through Friday. So that's really nice. Gives us recommendations for goals and allows us to track them, edit them, turn them into whatever we want them to be. Super cool. All right. And it's loading up those, still loading up those updates for us. And let's just think about what the progress or the economic strategy section should be while we wait. This seems functional. The font needs to be updated to be visual. This whole page design needs to be updated. To be honest, these should be drop downs for sure. Different tips. Honestly, they could probably be just cards that you can click individually. They don't have to be this large. This is crazy. Okay. It probably looks great on the phone, but on a desktop, it doesn't work really. So yeah, we can get this updated and we'll also have more financial strategies added in as well, for sure. All right, but it's loading up those changes for us, getting that updated. See what we get. See what we get. That's why, honestly, a big portion of what I love about Replit is like, it's kind of fun not knowing exactly what things are going to look like once you put in that request. Yeah, it's still not interactable though. So I'm not seeing any changes on this end. Most likely, I'm assuming that it changed things behind the scenes, but it's just not showing up on our side yet. And I'm seeing this error here, so that's probably related. Let's catch that error though. Copy this error, paste that message in, as always, from the dev tools section right here. Just click that to open up, get the error message. And also just catch that main page. All right, so say error. No changes are showing. These sections are still not interactable. All right, cool. And I'm gonna just copy one of these just so it can get more specific detail on exactly what we're looking for. Boom, boom, start, see the results. All right, okay. And this profile section, yeah, this is super basic. Success seeker, that's nah, we can get that updated for sure. First steps though, complete your first lesson. Okay, so it looks like it did track that achievement for us. Complete 10 knowledge seeker, habit streak master, maintain 14-day habit streak. That's cool. I like these achievements. I like these achievements showing up. All right, weekly practice, lessons completed. Let's see, we gotta wait till it completes that update for us. See what we get next. Okay. So, and we have daily inspiration. So these are the 3 trackers that we have for the week. That's solid. Habits practiced out of 10. That's kind of random number, but it's all good. Let's see. Learn. So setting smart goals. Stephen Covey method. So it probably pulled that, yeah, from 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Cool. Design your vision, make it measurable, set realistic timelines, align with values, and create action plans. Nice. This is really cool. This is really cool. You can move through each one of these. Can you check these off? Mark completed. Okay. So you can mark these as completed. Nice. Write a clear, specific goal to achieve. Take 10 minutes to write down exactly what success looks like for you. See, I usually would go through and make sure that you can manually edit and add in the actual requested information here, but I don't want to take all that time on that day one. That's something we could go back and just flesh out a little bit more later. Not really needed for the functionality, getting that baseline done. Okay, so it is referencing all of the top 20 success related books that are most recommended, and it's pulling in specific details and information. It's cool. Looks clean. You could track the progress and everything like that. It's solid. We need to get visuals updated though. I can see these buttons need to be updated. The font is not visual on these sections. It's a quick fix. Pretty easy. So let's just drop that in here. Error. The font is not visible on portions of the, let me see what this would be called, maybe. Portions of the, let's just say goals. Guide pages, actually. From the fundamentals. All right, cool. It's always good to note what exact page you're on. You don't want Replit to start changing pages that you're not requesting to change. And I'm going to just catch a specific section. Drop that in also. Okay. So we can see exactly a portion where the font isn't showing and it knows what page we're on and it sees the overall guide section that we need updated. So that should be cool. That should update pretty easily. Okay. And then they have these locked. That's really cool. Like it locks the extra goals until you complete the initial beginner level. That's really nice because it can avoid distracting people and things like that. And it can give you something to look forward to be real. So time management, let's check out exactly what it's recommending though. So step 1, audit your current focus. Step 2, design your deep work ritual. Step 3, eliminate digital distractions. Time block your calendar for step 4 and practice attention training. Solid. I mean, it makes sense. Makes sense for real. So seems pretty decent so far. Pretty decent. All right, so see the font visibility, etc. Looks like it's getting things updated for us. Cool. Let's make sure that looks right. Okay. This is cleaned up. This is slightly better, but it's not there yet. Okay. Better, but some portions of the page still have the same issue. Font visibility issue. Okay. So as always, you want to notice an error just so it knows that's the specific thing that you need updated. And we're going to go ahead and copy the different sections of font that need to be updated so it can know exactly what we need updated. Notice it updated that mark completed button, but that's the exact button that we copy and pasted. So we can get this cleaned up though. All right, so get the overall too. All right. Make sure that I caught that. All right, cool. Just want to make sure we, the screenshot, one of your screenshots at least should always get a URL in there just so it knows, again, exactly what page that you're working on and you're editing. All right, so yeah, I can see there's still black boxes appearing in parts of the model. Yeah, it understands what we're trying to do. It's going to get that updated for us pretty easily. Okay. It's pretty solid though. Pretty solid so far. Very useful, to be real. This is very useful. Even just the goal tracking and recommendation section is super cool by itself. This section is great, to be real, especially if you're trying to really set goals and get started and being just successful at life, making a lot of money. Yeah, these are super useful. I was thinking about adding a fitness section, but now that I'm looking at it, just general success. This pretty much seems like a goal-oriented guideline. And fitness is a specific goal, but this is a general guide that can help you with anything. So yeah, it's super cool though. We can always add more details about fitness and things like that, but this is overall more of a financial type of thing. Okay, let me see. So yeah, let's just check if it was able to get that updated for us correctly. This is still very hard to see. Let me see. So we can actually use this edit tool here. Click that, click the font. Let's see if we can just get that color updated manually. Okay. So we can actually manually update that color. All right. Let's see if we can get it match that blue. Just use white actually. Let's just use white. All right, cool. So all you gotta do is save that. Oh, it's not able to update. Okay. So it's not able to actually do that update. Looks like, oh, it is updating. Oh, my mistake. It is actually getting that updated for us. Nice. That worked. Cool. And you can even notice it said for better visibility in the model. So it actually understood why we made that change, which is super useful. All right, let's get this updated as well. Boom. And I want to know how that font is positioned in the app. That font may transition to the other cards. And let's double check though. Yep. Looks like it did. Yep, it did. Cool. So yeah, sometimes you just want to use that edit tool and manually make some changes if Replit isn't giving you what you need. Very useful. It's good for adding in pictures, specific places, and it's good for adding in just font colors and things like that. Just small details, specific changes. Okay. So this page is cool, functional. It works every step. Very solid. Happy with this. It's able to track your progress. Once you mark these as complete, it'll actually have that progress bar for you. Slides really nice. Satisfying, I'm not gonna lie. It's good. I like it. So let's get this page updated. Economic strategies. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the top 20 economic strategy books and we're gonna use those as an example to know what financial strategies we should be adding in. Recommended features. Okay, those are the features. We don't need those. All right, top 20 financial books. Cool. Let's get these in. Copy those here. And let's get this full screen really quick. Paste that there. Say, update the economic strategies page to reference the financial books added, attached. Revamp the entire information strategies page. All right, nice. So yeah, we're getting the entire financial strategies page updated with the information from the top 20 financial books that are recommended to the average person. So all of these will get updated. It'll go through all of those 20 books and it'll be able to give us good information to work with from there. Should be really cool and really useful. All right, so I'll update the dialogue title elements with white text color. Okay. Yeah, so it's making those changes for us. It's getting things updated. Should be pretty cool. And we got the profile section here. This page definitely needs to be cleaned up. And at this point, since we've made all those other changes for those separate pages, we should just pretty much be able to say, hey, update the profile page based on the quality and the information from all of the other pages that we've edited, or the habits and learn page. And that should be able to clean things up a lot better for us. Also getting that strategies page updated. I just want to make sure there's nothing that we missed here. Complete intermediate tier to unlock these premium lessons. Okay, cool. Yeah, it makes sense. All right, master the principles of success. That's cool. Cool, gives you some details on the books that we're referencing. That's nice. All right. Goals, it shows the active goals here. Lets us track them daily. Everything's working. That checkbox. I'm not sure what this green shows up on all these different days for. Okay, all completed. Yeah, that's strange. I'm not sure why it's, oh, maybe because these are days that are not applicable. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And let me see. Gotta check things out on that one. Gotta just make sure how that's working. But it shouldn't be a big deal at this point. We got the bulk of that section done. Okay. So we got this page completely updated. Rich Dad, Poor Dad principles. Again, the text is kind of hard to read, but let's check out what strategies it's giving us. So, core principles. Let me see. Okay, we can hide the detail. All right, that's cool. That's cool. All right, so assets put money in your pocket. Liabilities take money out. Work to learn, not to just earn. Make money work for you, not the other way around. Mind your own business. Build assets outside your job. All right, this is cool. This is useful information that people can actually apply no matter where you are. Success metrics, 500 plus a month. That's not really useful. That's very randomly specific. So yeah, we need to get that updated for sure. All right. Typical savings, 1,000 plus a month. Yeah, we need to update these numbers. It should use a calculator. You should be able to tell the app your income, and it should be able to give you a guideline on how much you should be saving. For sure. Okay. Easy fix though. It's an easy fix. Okay, so what we are gonna do is I'm gonna copy that section of the page and just let it know to update that. Need a calculator, get that set up. Okay. Boom, boom. All right, check off that goals. Always copy in exactly what you want to change and then catch a screenshot of the entire page too. Always catch the URL in as well. Super important to make sure Replit knows exactly what you're editing. Okay, so remove the exact dollar amount. There needs to be a calculator that can use the user's monthly income to calculate the success metric month. Okay. Use a proven algorithm to find this. Okay, cool. So just letting it know we don't need that exact $500 amount. It should use a proven algorithm to understand exactly how much people should be able to get in this situation based on their monthly income. All right. So yeah, that should be able to clean that up for us and add a higher quality in there. Always like to use different algorithms and things like that. It just adds a higher level to the application. And we still need to get this profile page updated. Okay. First step, complete your first lesson. Yeah, it's general. It's general. All right. So for some reason, let me see. Yeah, I checked this off and it doesn't save when I leave the page and come back. Oh, it does. Okay, it's probably just because we were making edits on the app. All right, for sure. The server usually resets as we're editing the app, so we don't have that database set up yet, but we will, or we could. I'm not sure if we'll need to have a database for this situation. It's just just a beta demo app, so we're just building all the basic functionality that would be needed, but we don't necessarily need a database or a profile specific for everybody. Like, it doesn't really make sense to add that in right now. But yeah, let's see. It's getting that edited. Creating a dynamic calculator that uses the user's monthly income. Okay. Cool. Looks like things are rolling. It understood exactly what we were going for, and it should be able to make that change. Let me see. So, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. All right. So the color change. Okay, nice. So we got monthly income, age, and current net worth. All right, cool. So say if I was making $5 million a month, and my current net worth was $1. Age, I'm 12. Let's see what we get. Personalized success metrics. Yeah, I'm not sure how it's getting these numbers. It literally just took the monthly income and gave that as passive income goals. But asset investment, 7.5 million a month. Okay. 2 to 5 years. Okay, so these are the goals that you should be able to make your monthly income every month passively in 2 to 5 years. And you should be able to invest 7.5 million a month in 2.5 years. If you were making 5 million a month and you were 12 years old. All right, cool. That makes sense. That's logical. Okay. Safety margin. Yeah, I like these. It's updating, it's editing in real time. That's cool. Is it? Let me see. Okay, it is. All right, nice. Very fast too. So let me see if I was making $12 a month. Okay. Yeah, this is logical and it's super cool. Very useful. Very useful financial calculator. For sure. Yeah, all these seem like they're fully functional. Yep. All right, cool. So we have specific strategies. All right. Yeah, we have the core principles here, implementation steps here. All right. So let's get this font updated. This should be black. Okay. Text color, black. Save changes. Boom. It'll get that updated for us. All of these. Yep. Every font in that class will now use black. Nice. All right. So that's clean. Need this updated as well. Let me see. Maybe we can manually edit this section. Let me see. So yeah, we got the background. We can change the background to white. All right, that's cool. That is cool. All right, so save that. It's getting that updated for us. I'm gonna let it cook for a second. Let it do its thing. And yeah. I'm liking it so far though. This is a super useful app made hour and a half. Yeah, a little bit less than an hour and a half. And it's actually very functional. We have our daily goal tracker. We can create our own goals. It gives us references for goals that we can create. If we want to daily physical activities, we click customize goal and we can edit this into whatever we want to call it, change the description, change the time, and change the days of the week. And we'll have a tracker on there and it'll track it every day. That's very useful by itself. We also have this smart goals section that'll give you step-by-step guidelines on just successful habits and how to build successful habits, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, like here it says building unstoppable momentum from Atomic Habits. Great book. Choose your identity, make it obvious, start tiny, stack your habits, track and celebrate. Nice. Decide who you want to become, not just what you want to achieve. Design your environment to make good habits visible and accessible. And it gives you details on each of these. These seem very logical, very cool, and broken down. Yeah, it's nice. I like that a lot. All right. So, yep, got that color updated for all of these as well. Cool. This looks right. Okay, we need this section updated also. Not sure why I had such a problem with the font, but no big deal. All right, let's get that black. Cool. It'll update all of those for us. Okay. And finally, we need to get that profile page updated. Then we need to make sure that this habit page is showing the correct log of the progress. Yeah, it shouldn't be giving that green everywhere like that. Yeah, that's an easy fix though. So we need to get the profile page updated, get the habits page resolved, and then we need to edit the home page and get this cleaned up. And we're good. All right, so yeah, it's just noting. It looks like it just made that change for us. All right, cool. So this profile page, Actually, we're going to edit that habit page now because we already started on this. Let's just clean this up really quick. It's a small error. You see, catch that portion of the page. Paste that in here. Error. The completed log is showing incorrect days. Okay. Trying to see if I can see a reason why I would do that though. Okay. So yeah. Let me see. Yeah, it seems like they're tracking weekly. They should be tracking daily. Okay. I understand the problem. So the completions on the habits page are tracking weekly. It should track daily. Okay. Boom. Let's highlight that section there so it understands. Okay. I want to catch this calendar as well so we can see that these dots are showing up here. It's crazy how smart Replit is. It really does understand a lot of this information. Let me see. It's an error in here. Okay, looks like saying a source. Looks like just some images and loading or something. It might be some old code from the changes or something like that. I'm not noticing any issues, so it's no big deal. Okay. Because this is interesting. Yeah, we can't even check this completed because it's Sunday. But for some reason, when we check this box, it fills up all of these. So it's weird. I don't know. Let me see. All right, so let's see what Replit is giving us. I'll update the badge component style. Let me fix the correct lines. See, the badge is already corrected. Okay. The completion tracking system is working correctly for daily, but there seems to be a display issue. All right, nice. Nice. So allegedly it's functional, but it's just not showing the right information on our end. But behind the scenes, it's working the way it should. That's cool. Yeah, I can see today's goal, 1 for 1, best streak. So it looks like it's working. It's doing its thing. Let's check it out though. Let's see what we can get for the update. And once this is completed, we can update that profile page and that home page. Get things cleaned up. Okay. Check that. Boom. Yeah, I'm not understanding why it's showing this green everywhere. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. Yeah. It's checking off every one of them days. Okay. So the completion green circle shows for every day the goal would apply. It should only show the day the goal was completed. Specifically. All right, cool. And as always, want to note specifically that is an error. And catch a quick screenshot. Boom. So this should be able to update for us pretty simply. Seems like it just didn't understand what the problem was. Friday, July 25th. Oh, okay, because I clicked that day. All right. That's nice. That's really clean. That's really clean. Okay. I like how it adjusts that log per day. That's really nice. This is going to look amazing on the phone. I just like to work on desktop version because I know if it looks good on the desktop, it'll look good on the phone, but it doesn't always work vice versa. So just want to make sure, get the best experience possible. All right. Allegedly it's fixed. Let's check it out. Boom. Boom. Nice. Easy. All right. If we check tomorrow, what happens if we click that? Nothing. Well, I mean, it's not that day, so that might just not apply. Not 100% on that. Can't uncheck it though. That's weird. And it does edit. Let me see. Yeah, not 100% sure if that's actually working as it should. And it's logged as Monday. So let me see. Go to Saturday. Doesn't let me check off either of these. Why is Saturday grayed out? Oh, okay. I'm tripping. This is not a goal for Saturday. Okay, so Thursday is a day that only applies to that top goal. Yep, can't edit it. Okay. All right, should be a quick fix though. Let's get that updated. So, error. The check is not able to be unchecked. All right. Catch one more screenshot of the actual just checkbox itself. Cool. Because you might misclick. You know, you might have thought you did a goal, or you might have planned on doing one, but you might not have accomplished it. You should be able to uncheck these as well, for sure. Okay. Once the goal is marked complete, user can't uncheck it. All right, it's understanding the problem. It's getting that updated for us. Nice. Weekly habits. Yeah, this whole page is just so basic. The learn page, this is nice. I love the strategies page. I love how useful this is to actually track personal finance goals and give you specific details to benefit your finances. Need to get this font updated though. But I like that a lot. I love this page. The learn page, this is cool. Gives you simple, straightforward goals. This is easily scalable. We have 3 here, but we could have 20, 100, etc., whatever. So we could add a lot more, but this is definitely proof of concept. Definitely proving the concept. Okay. And yeah, it's pretty much the profile page and the home page need to be updated. And we'll be clean. All right. Getting updates populated. Let me see what we get. I would add more features, but this is a proof of concept. We just need the fundamentals. At times, if you watch my previous apps, I definitely am the type of guy to want to add every single thing humanly possible to these apps. But when you're building 30 apps in 30 days, you got to keep your scope in line. It's very important. You want to make sure you have a product that's actually workable. You can add more features if you need to or if you want to, but gotta make sure the baseline is set. Okay. Boom. Uncheck. Nice. And that box shows up for the specific day. I go to tomorrow. Check that. Okay, cool. It doesn't log though. Okay. Most likely, I'm assuming that it won't let us update the day and show that checkbox because it's not Monday. So it wouldn't actually make sense. But we can uncheck these boxes now. That's functional as it should be. We can create a goal. Random goal real quick. Daily planning session, right? Boom. And we need to get this. I need to update the font on this too. But once you create your goal, you can customize it. So daily planning session, plan your day every morning. Let's say we only want to do that on Sunday. Uncheck all of these, only leave Sunday. Create goals. It recommends days for you, but you can edit that as well. Today is Sunday, so should be able to check that off. It's not allowing. Oh yeah, okay, because we were on Monday. Nice. Check that off. Shows that as well. These are the only 2 goals we have for today, so it shows those 2 green dots, and they both are checked off. And you can see our progress bar goes up to 100%. And if we uncheck one, 50%, uncheck the other, 0%. All of that's functional. Nice. And we have streaks that it can log for us as well. And it'll let you know how much goals you completed today. Okay. So it lets you know how much goals you did today, and it lets you know how much goals you're expected to do in total. So that's cool. All right, now the profile page. Let's get this cleaned up. Okay. Catch this entire page. Update the design and utility of the profile page to be on par with the, let me make sure I know these names. Yeah, habits. Okay, that's habits, fundamentals, and what's this called? Strategies. All right, cool. Habits, fundamentals, and strategies page. It should be amazing. Let's keep it simple. All right, cool. Just let it know it should be amazing. Want an amazing page. So yeah, it should be able to get this updated. Let me see. So I just said update the design and utility of the profile page to be on par with the habits, fundamentals, and strategies. It should have noticed by now the amount of updates and changes we made from the baseline that it gave us. And it should understand our goals by now and the detail level that we're looking for. And it should be able to make this a lot cleaner, a lot nicer, a lot better. If we want any specifics, we can always add those in. But in my experience, it's always better to let Replit do its thing based on just high expectations that you're giving it. It should look amazing, for example. But if you have any specific details you want to add it, you should obviously let those be noted. But in this situation, just want a nice looking page. Just want a nice looking page. And then there's this main page, which obviously needs to be updated, but we're going to do that last. Because we can take all the design choices that we made in the past through these other pages, all the different features. It'll be able to remember all of that. And yeah, the home page should look the best. All right, the strategies page. Compound interest calculator at the top. Super useful. Super useful. This whole app is really useful, honestly. These guides are really nice. When I was senior infrastructure engineer at Wells Fargo, we were working on SMART goals in the Navy. We talk about SMART goals. These are all things that are very popular throughout just life, like high success jobs, all reference these details. So it can really help people out for sure. And that's all I'm really trying to do with this one. Sometimes we do fun apps. Sometimes we do more productive apps. I try and switch it up, keep a good range. But yeah, life is about balance. All right, so let me create a completely new luxury profile page that matches the design and functionality of the other pages. Cool. So it's doing what we wanted to. What's up with these error messages? All right, missing description. Okay. Just checking to make sure that there's nothing that we might need to get fixed or something I didn't check that it's letting us know about. I'm not seeing anything though. Looks good. Looks cool. Yeah, it looks cool so far. Hey, appreciate you. Appreciate you, Aaron. For sure. Yeah, it's going pretty well. Going pretty well. Yep. So yeah, these progress bars. Yeah, this whole page, it's like there's so many different things on this page I want to get updated and revamped that for now I'm just gonna let it just get everything updated in total. But I'm not seeing anything that's non-functional so far. I'm not seeing any problems on any of these pages. All the features seem to be completely able to accomplish our goals. Giving great details. Educate yourself about invest. All right, maybe these details could be a little bit more fleshed out, but seem like they're working pretty well for now. Proof of concept. List all your current assets and liabilities honestly. Identify which items actually generate income versus consume it. Start acquiring income generation assets. Reduce liabilities. Educate yourself about money and investing continuously. It's useful information. Really useful information, genuinely. All right, and then they have core principles as well. It's cool. Then we have these drop downs. Page could be designed a little bit better, to be honest. And I might double back on this one, just clean it up a little bit. But functionality is king. Got to be able to do what you need it to do. You can have the prettiest looking car in the world. If it can't drive, you're not going anywhere. So, yeah. All right. So, just constantly looking for anything else we can update or any ideas I can think of to make things better while we're waiting for the changes from Replit. This page obviously is, yeah, it's just bare minimum, but we'll get this revamped completely. Habit section. Yeah, I mean, I'm liking it so far. It's a very functional, useful app for general success guidelines based on the most popular financial and self-help books in the world. So, timeless wisdom, proven methods, 150 plus copies sold. I love how it's selling the app. I love how it's selling the app up there. It just gives a lot more comfortability. It's really nice. And honestly, with these 30-day, 30 app challenges, each app I'm building has a different feature, has a different component. And once this process is done, the app that we end up building for 30 days straight, and I'm going to live stream that whole process as well. That app is going to be so detailed, so fleshed out, and have so many features. It's going to be insane, to be honest. It's genuinely going to be amazing. And yeah, I don't want to expose what it's going to be yet, but I have a solid idea of what we're going to work on. It's going to be really good. It's going to be really good. All right. So yeah, it's still loading up these changes for us now. Okay. Let's check it out. All right. So looks a lot better. Color. I don't know about that color coding, but yeah, the text could also be updated. It's a lot grayer than everything else for some reason. The background is different as well, but we got overview. All right, so goals, days in a row, being tracked, knowledge gain, weekly performance, okay, knowledge growth, goals completed, daily inspiration, achievements, first step, okay. These are the achievements that we've gotten so far. Analytics, consistent score, growth rate, knowledge index, and peak performance. Okay, that's nice. This is really cool. And settings. Export data. We don't need this. Backup achievements. We don't need this as well. Nobody's going to be exporting their data from here. So, first thing I want to do. Oh yeah, so it does give you a PDF of everything. That might be nice to have, but I'll leave this. Actually, that might be something I want to add in later. But consistency score, knowledge index, peak performance, growth rate. These seem like placeholders. I want real information though. Yeah, so I'm gonna just note error. Profile page is using placeholder information. Remove and replace with real information based on the other page's completion. Okay, and I'll just catch this information right here so we can log this placeholder information. Boom. Copy and paste that. All right, let me see what other placeholder information I'm seeing. So yeah, it is actually logging us with this level of, yeah, but it's just fake information. It's saying that we're on level 4, 250 to next level and 1250 points, but this is all just made up. Okay. So let me copy that, paste that in. And I'll just also note user needs to be able to create a profile and just say create a real profile. Just keep it simple. Okay. All right, cool. So let's get this placeholder information out of here. Let's replace that with actual real information. You should be able to actually create your account and get an accurate view of how you've been progressing so far. The knowledge growth, daily inspiration. Yeah, all of this is just, the goals completed is accurate. It looks like knowledge growth. Let me see. Are any of these checked off? I don't believe so. Yeah, they're not checked off. So That doesn't make any sense. It's just fake information. Should be updated pretty easily. And once that is updated, we need to get the font corrected, clean up a little bit. I like that animation though. But also the background should match the other pages as well. Background doesn't match. But for now, I'm gonna just leave the design of this page. Once we do the home page, I'm gonna ask Replit to redesign the entire app aesthetic to just be cohesive and high level. Should be pretty simple. But yeah, let's see what we got. Okay. Yeah, still getting things updated. Looks like it's working on the storage so that we can actually make profiles and have those be saved. You can see the storage file here that's updating. All these different specific details. Yeah, that's the storage file there. Not going to make any sense unless you actually built the app and you understand how things were laid out. But yeah, that's the storage file. If we need to map that out and make any manual changes, you can always go in here and edit any individual file for sure. Even though we're using AI to create the app, it's still being created as if a normal human being was creating it. So we can edit it and make as much manual changes as we wanted to, if it makes sense. Okay. Yeah, it's still getting this page updated for us. Okay. All right. So it's getting things updated. Yeah, it looks like it's doing a deep level change. Probably just that storage factor so we can make that profile. Might need a lot of behind the scenes edits. But it should be nice in the result though. And honestly, I mean, where are we at? Almost 2 hours. Almost 2 hours. Started a little bit after 5 PM Eastern. Okay. Aspiring engineer. Level 3 elite. Okay. All right, so removed all placeholder data. Cool. Learning completion rate. Yeah, so I'm not seeing those changes. A lot of times when Replit makes a lot of behind the scenes changes, those can be done, but they might not show up on our end. So we just need to let it know that we're not seeing those changes. All right, so I'm gonna just copy this page. Paste that in here, no error. No changes appear on the front end. Okay, cool. Just letting it know. No changes are showing up. Yeah, cool. Yeah, okay, so let me see. Yeah, it looks like, all right, cool. I just want to make sure it's understanding the actual issue. So it's saying the API request function signature is incorrect. I'm not sure what API is referencing. I didn't ask for an API. Might have added one, but it might have created its own API, to be honest. I can see the profile data is loading correctly. Let me test the profile update functionality. Okay. Profile update functionality is working. Cool. All right, let's see the results. We should be able to create a profile now. Not seeing any changes yet. All right, let's see what we got. Fixed all LSP error. Profile now displays real user information. Alex Johnson. Okay. Might be a cache error. Might be caching the data and not updating for us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the server. You can just click this button up top, stop the server, and I'll start that back up. See if a server reboot will assist and clear that data out. If not, it might be cached in a browser. So what I'm going to do is open up a private browser and go to this URL. And if that doesn't show the changes that it's saying that it made, then you can just let it know changes aren't being completed. Just want to make sure that it's not a browser issue. It's always good practice to make sure that it's not you, it's the actual app that's having some problems. So let me open up that private browser, drop that in. Okay, let's check it out. Profile. Okay, so we can edit it. Cool, cool, cool. That's nice. That's nice. All right, cool. Maybe I missed that on the other page. You see, yeah, it does have that pencil there. We can edit changes manually. That's cool. But what are these points though? I'm not sure about these points. I'm gonna ask the assistant actually. So what you can do is, if you ever have any questions about the app and how it's working, and you don't want to make any changes, you can just click this plus right here and go to assistant, and it'll give you a chat GPT like assistant that'll just give you some specific details or answer your questions without making any changes. It can make changes, but I wouldn't recommend making changes with the assistant. All right, so what I'm gonna do is copy these points in this whole section here. Is this fake placeholder information? And just ask it, is this placeholder information? I think it is, but maybe it's logging some information from one of these sections that I didn't catch or something. I don't know. I don't see any of these checked off. The server was rebooted, so it shouldn't have saved anything if there was anything checked off. Yeah, I'm not seeing any logged goals completed or anything like that. All right, let's see what the assistant gave us though. Okay, looking at this screenshot you shared, this appears to be the actual user profile data, not fake placeholder information. Okay. So it's actually giving the ID and all right, cool, cool. The data is being populated from your actual backend storage system. Okay. All right, so it looks like it thinks that this is real information, even though it's not. So let's get that updated though. I'm just gonna note back on the agent side, I'm gonna just catch a screenshot, drop that in here, say error, remove the fake information about the points and levels. New users should begin with 0 points and level 1. All right, cool. So not sure why it thinks that's real information, but just let it know like, hey, get this out of the way, go back to level 1, points start at 0. We can move from there. Okay. Okay, so it looks like default users start with this much points and at level 4. It was just a way it was positioned when the app was created from the beginning, but no big deal. We can get that out of the way. These achievements also need to be updated. Need to start with 0 achievements accomplished, and we should have like 20 achievements that you can achieve throughout using the app. Okay. Let me see. All right, so boom, 500 to level 2. We're on level 1 now. And what happens if we complete a habit? Daily exercise, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. All right, complete that. All right, we did the daily exercise. Now, do we get points? We should get points for that. Okay. Okay, so we got goals completed, weekly performance. Okay, it looks like this might be weekly logging, the updates. Okay. I'm gonna just update it, let it know we should get a certain amount of experience points for daily goals, each individual goal, and completing the daily goal. Say for instance, you get 10 points. Let's just say, yeah, 10 XP for each individual goal and 100 XP for completing all daily goals. That'll be cool. That'll definitely work. For now, we could, I mean, if we want to flesh this app out, we can always go back and edit the ratios or whatever, but just for functionality, that makes a lot of sense in my opinion. Okay. Then we got the achievement gallery, first step, knowledge seeker, habit streak master. Okay, so these are not achieved already. These are just showing the achievements that we can get. That's cool. That makes sense. Okay. We got goals completed. That went up when we made that change. Knowledge growth. I'm not sure why it's showing knowledge growth field and daily inspiration is filled, but we need to get those back to 0 as well. Knowledge gained 8. Okay. Yeah, just a couple things to clean up here and there. Couple things to clean up. All right. Let this load. See what we get back. Get things updated a little bit more. All right, loading that change for us. Cool. Yes, sir. All right. Profile. Achievements. No achievements yet. Okay. Success metric. Learning completion rate. Yeah, I'm not sure why it has that 89 there, but it's still updating though. Looks like it's just getting that whole solution for us. Also, man, I'm thinking that I'm using a different browser than the Replit browser, so it might just be showing us the baseline information and not any information that might have been saved locally in the browser. So analytics, all of these are at 0 as they should be. This is cool. I'm gonna leave this in case we want to add in an option to export PDFs. No drizzy. All right, cool. So success profile, your journey to excellence, measured and optimized. Cool. All right, still loading up, getting those changes done. Let's see what we're doing though. All right, that is completely authentic with all fake information removed. Okay, profile page should now show the authentic starting value. Okay. Okay, cool. Looking nice. Looking nice. Active goals too. Achievements, clear. All this is clear. Functional. Able to be updated. Cool. All right, so now let's get this homepage updated and then let's stylize everything. So update the homepage to have more value and better design based on the other pages in the app. Extremely useful. It should be extremely useful and convenient and stylized as well. Stylized like it was done by Steve Jobs. Okay. Recommending Steve Jobs because obviously Steve Jobs is amazing at designing. So the app should know the design style that we're looking for. Once that home page gets updated with a good design, we can just look at each of these couple pages, choose the design that we love, and let it know to expand that design throughout the rest of the app. And we should be cool. Should be cool. We have full, complete functionality. We have the habits. We can log our habits, create new habits. It gives us suggestions that we can edit as well. Can clean these up and add in whatever factors we want to. That's completely functional. We have the learning section. We can actually just go through the specific steps recommended by the most popular self-help books known to man. Okay. Each one of these are able to be logged and tracked for completion once you complete the lesson. Okay. Looks like that lesson is logged as completed. Should show up on the profile. Achievements, analytics. Okay. Might need to clean that up a little bit. Small update there. But let's let the homepage do its thing. I don't really actually like to test the app while we're making changes because Replit may be changing functionality that just doesn't allow us to see what we're usually going to see. All right. But yeah, this page is functional. Perfect day. I like that little bounce. It's clean. It's clean. Clean and functional. Okay. Strategies. Still capable. We can calculate different finance variables. Okay. Personal success metrics. Safety margin. Investment amount. Lifestyle cap. Then it gives you principles. All right. See. Pretty successful app so far. Still loading up. Okay. Let's see what we get. All right, cool. So should have updated that homepage for us. Let's see. All right, nice. So yeah, it took the style of the profile app. Cool. All right. And welcome back, success. But we can always go here, edit the name. Okay. Save those changes. Go back to the home page and did not update, looks like. Okay. So yeah, we definitely need to clean that up, make sure that works. Oh, it looks like it didn't save those changes. Okay, so let's just say name. Yeah, it's not saving the name changes. Okay. All right, that's pretty simple fix though. Let's just catch that screenshot. Error. The name does not update when I change it. All right, cool. It's probably, I'm guessing, maybe a storage problem, or it may just be changing things behind the scenes, but we're not getting that update on our end. Profile page shows success seeker even after the API successfully updates the name. Okay. So it does know what name that we tried to add in, but it just didn't show on our end. So at least it's saving the information though. That's good to know. Should be able to get that fixed pretty easily then. Okay. Oh yeah, also this font is not readable. So we need to get this font cleaned up. And yeah, it should be pretty much good from there. Just need the font cleaned up. Need to make sure these metrics are able to be tracked correctly and show up in the profile section. We should be good. Redesign a couple of these pages. But yeah, overall, I mean, pretty successful app. Okay. Let's see. Profile. Edit name. Name. Save changes. Still not showing up. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't show here either. Okay. It still does not update. Okay. Catch that screenshot one more time just so we can make sure Replit understands. Cool. So yeah, get that name updated. Make sure that these achievements show up correctly. The learn section. I'm not even sure actually if these would be necessarily achievements. What is this logging? Achievements, analytics. Consistency score, knowledge index, learning completion, growth rate, and peak performance. What is the knowledge index coming from though? I don't see we don't have a knowledge section. So I guess it's the learning. Yeah, these should update the knowledge index, I'm guessing. Okay. But yeah, that name is really interesting using these programs. A lot of times advanced changes will work out perfectly fine, but small changes like having a name update won't be able to function for some reason. It's been very interesting seeing what Reddit struggles with. Okay, name updated, cool. All right, and you can see it has first name, last name recognition, NN for the initials, and yeah, just logs the first name. Cool. And want to make sure that these achievements are logged. So let's just mark all these as complete really quick. Okay. Boom. Complete lesson. Okay, I think the complete lesson button isn't functional. It's an easy fix. Easy fix. All right, cool. So error, complete lesson button is not functional for the guides in the fundamentals section. All right, cool. And let me just add that slash to fundamentals so it knows that we're talking about the file. And I'm gonna catch another screenshot of the exact button just to make sure it understands us. And again, should be another easy fix. From here, we just want to really redesign the app. Redesign the app. The habit strategies and learn pages should mirror the background of the home page. Also, the introduction screen when you first open the app has that same black background too. So I like this gray. I kind of like the gray. Actually, you know what? Probably go with the black background. But we're just going to ask it to redesign the entire app aesthetic. Okay, so smart recommendations, you can just bounce right here. Okay. These can be designed better as well. I don't like these colors. Very distracting, and they don't really match the rest of the app. You can get those updated too. But functionality is all there. It is all there. If I was just trying to call it as far as a functional app for the day, technically there, but just want to look nicer. Want to look a little bit nicer. So API call shows lesson completion is working, but it's returning completed false. Okay. Completion API needs to properly mark the lesson is completed. Let me check the server side storage. Okay. Yeah, it's just a storage problem. Looks like probably honestly the same lane as the name issue. In my opinion, that's most likely just an issue with the storage not passing that information correctly forward. Okay. Yeah, still. All right. Looks like it might have fixed that for us. Let's check it out. Lesson, boom, start guide. Completed. Completed. Boom. 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 Complete lesson. Nice. That worked. And we go here. And we should see some update on the analytics. Knowledge index. Okay. Knowledge index section does not update the percentage. When a guide is completed. All right, so I'm just going to, oh, it didn't save. Okay. It didn't save this information. For right now, the functionality there just looks like it's just a storage issue, but functionality wise, it does work. So not even going to really dwell on that. Let's just get this cleaned up a little bit more for now. Okay. Whoops. Okay. This quick action section. So let me just note. Actually, I'm going to update the app to have a cohesive color scheme that matches on every page. It should match and appear as if designed by one person with one artistic goal. And I'm going to remove that picture, post this in, and yeah. So now it should be able to just update all the pages. I'm not even going to post a screenshot because I want the entire page or the entire app in total to be updated. So yeah, it should be a pretty easy fix, or pretty straightforward, I should say. Might take a second, but logically they should be able to understand exactly what we're going for and get things done for us. Yep. All right, cool. So establishing a cohesive luxury color scheme, updating the CSS variables, and ensuring all pages use the same design token. Okay, cool. So it's getting things updated for us. See what we get. But yeah, from this point, I mean, we're done. We're done really. As far as a proof of concept, this is good. For sure. All right. So I do see these colors do line up with these. Oh, okay. So the financial strategies are logging in that port. Okay. Yeah, I do notice that I think certain sections of this app could be cleaned up possibly, or just revamped logically wise. Like this section here is this is a strategy section. Here we have knowledge gained. There's no way to track the strategy section, so the knowledge gained would never actually be able to go up. But those are like little tweaks. It's not really functionality. That's just tracking. It's not really a big deal. Okay, still updating. Let me fix both button occurrences individually and continue making color scheme cohesive across all pages. Yeah, it's still getting things updated for us. Sheesh. Very hot. All right. So let me see what we get back. Yeah, you can see it's updating those source pages and the components. So all the style pages are being revamped and changed to fit the design of the entire project. Okay. Addressing a few more key components and fixing the TypeScript errors. Also testing an updated design. All right, cool. Locate the calendar luxury class. Complete the cohesive color system implementation. Cool. I'm curious what we're going to get back. It should be nice. Should be pretty nice. Should be pretty nice. All right. All right. So yeah, it used the black background. Yeah, it used the black background, but that messed up some of the font. But overall, it looks nice. Looks nice. This is clean. Oh, okay. So I'll just note the profile page design was not updated. All right, so in this situation, there's a couple things we need to change, but they're pretty simple. So I like to do add numbers here and list these changes that are needed, so it can change each of these in one go, but it'll just go step by step and update these changes for us. So 1, the profile page design was not updated. 2, some of the font was not updated. Is unreadable with the background change. Update the design color to be readable. Okay, so these are the 2 changes we need done. Could manually change this, but I'll just tell it this and see what we get back. I like to test Replit sometimes and see if it can handle these changes. I'm not even gonna let it know what fonts are not readable clearly. I just want to see if it can actually go through and notice what fonts are not able to be read. Okay. So I can see the profile page needs to be updated with the cohesive color scheme. Now I need to fix the font readability. All right, cool. So did it update the profile page? All right, nice. It updated the profile page. Now it needs to change the font to make it more readable. Okay. See what we get back. Loading up those changes. Now let me continue updating the remaining color references in the profile page and improve text contrast for better readability. Cool. Let me fix all 3 input field border colors individually and continue with the profile page update. All right, so it's doing what it's supposed to. Allegedly. All right. Updating the rest of the profile pages. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna just let it cook for a second. See what we get back. Should be cool. Pretty simple request. Let's get this done. Okay. Let me check so far though. So I'm not seeing if the font hasn't been updated yet. Looks like this is just not readable at all. It's like invisible. I don't even think that's black. I think that's just clear. All right. Like I showed before though, we can manually make some of these changes if we need to. I just want to see what it's able to give us. Okay. Loading up. Let me fix specific text contrast issues at the top section and complete the profile page. Cool. Looks like it might have got that done for us. Let's see. Nah, didn't. Okay, no big deal. We can just manually get this cleaned up a little bit. Let's get that white. Okay. Save that change. Let's see if that transitions. If not, we can just catch a couple of these piece by piece. All of this should be white. It's just super hard to read that gray word, or the gray text is very difficult to read. And this is just clear. This is not readable at all. This also. Okay. A little bit of text changes, but we're good. We're pretty much good to go, to be real. All right, that's updated. Let's get this manually updated as well. Okay. Looks like none of these text sections are linked. They all need to be manually edited separately. But again, it's not really a big deal. This is the only thing we've really ever had to do manually throughout this entire process. So not a big deal. Not a big deal. Compared to creating this entire app manually, it's okay. All right, so we got my goals section. Actually, this gray, it's not too bad. You can see it. But I'm gonna get this updated. Yeah, it's literally transparent. Okay. Save that. And I'm just assuming that this is probably just text that was left from the previous design of the app. But we can get this updated. Okay, wealth building strategies. Get that cleaned up too. And profile page. This needs to match the same aesthetic. Get that white. Okay. Boom, boom. Save that. We cool. All right. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, it's done. App's done. We have goals. It tracks the consistency with the streak section. It's able to track our lesson progress, and it's able to track our quotes. Boom. There's a quote right there. Boom. So got personalized goals for the day. Check these off. Shows you that green box right there. Once that's done for the day, each individual day gets its own amount of logs based on the amount of goals you actually have. We have 2 goals for Monday, Tuesday, or Monday through Friday. And yeah, that seems completely functional. We have these we have the learn section, which actually gives you detailed strategies to build wealth and just grow successful in general, depending on what field of study you're in. Each one of these are able to be logged with a progress bar. Working really nice. I'm happy with the way this turned out, honestly. I really am. All right, so you can check those off. It saves those. It's working fine. Okay, I had already checked this off in the past, I think. It looks like it checked off all of these manually. Yeah, so it's a couple tweaks we can make. Yeah, but it's not really a big deal, honestly. Functionality's there overall. We have all the information we need. A little bit of tweaks here and there could be made, but when you're making one app a day, it's no big deal. All right. The whole goal is to know that we are able to accomplish any goal that we have. So yeah, don't want to get too caught up in the small details. But yeah, I feel like we're at a great point with this app. I'm very, very happy with the way this worked out. Really, really functional, useful, detailed, specific guidelines to manage your financial success. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I consider this a win. Honestly, I think it was a good accomplishment. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. My name's Adrian Glenn. It's Military Grade Automation. Appreciate you guys watching. And I gotta say again, we have a lot of crazy stuff coming up. This is really just the tip of the iceberg. So yeah, appreciate you guys watching again. Have a great day.